Hello, everybody. It's New Machine Day at my rabbit hole. This is my first eBay purchase of a machine tool, and I have to say I'm pretty excited about it. You might say, like a kid at Christmas time.
I'm just like a kid at Christmas time. That's a thing of beauty. Think of all the things I have to learn.
And one of the things I have to learn, in all honesty, is don't be like a kid at Christmas time. And take the time to learn a few things before you start screwing around with your machine. In my youthful enthusiasm, I managed to power the knee down until it jammed. And that's kind of unfortunate, and it was difficult to deal with. And I thought I'd include a little bit of footage about how I dealt with that in this video, for the sake of anyone who may feel like they've screwed up their Christmas present in a pretty big way. And the message is, don't despair. You can almost always figure out a way to fix it.
Well, I'm calling this Operation Free the Knee. I think I might have commented that in my youthful ignorance, managed to jam up the knee by powering it down farther than it should have gone. And the jack screw is still locked up, but at least I've got the knee up to the point where I can get in and see things and work on things. I'll tell you that those 4 bolts there around the pedestal there wasn't much room to get at those. I've spent most of today getting those out. I should let this be a harshly learned lesson to not do something stupid like that again. This will get fixed, but it's really pissing me off that I had to tear up my brand new machine. But I will say, my only other experience with old milling machines is the Osterline over there that I converted to a gear hobbing machine. This here machine is really, really well engineered. I've got a pile of parts off it, and got access to the innards of the knee anyway. And I have to tell you, it doesn't look to me like there were any corners cut on materials or workmanship or design. Everything's very heavy. There's no effort spared, from what I can tell. It's a beautiful old machine, and one day I'll have it all back together and I'll be happy. Well, good morning, everyone. Here's an update on Operation Free the Knee. As you can see, I've got the screws extended and everything's free now. I think I can put it back together and expect some level of success. I hope this never happens to you. I really do, because it's a royal pain in the butt. And on the positive side, I've learned a lot about this fine machine, but the Van Norman 2L, but on the other hand, it's been 3 or 4 days work to kind of figure out how to do this. I'm going to tell you that I jammed it down so good that it was actually jammed in 3 places. The pedestal was jammed to the outer screw was jammed to the inner screw, and the upper screw was jammed to the knee because the sudden stop over torqued the nut at the top of up above the double bevel gear, which I'm not sure you can see, but that nut right there on top of the double bevel gear got over torqued and needed to be loosened and reclamped in place with lock tabs. If this ever happens to you, don't despair. I will tell you that the clearance, the working clearance between the knee and the base is about that much right there, the thickness of my finger. And even though the bottom of the knee is available, the only screw that you can get to is the one on the back side of the pedestal. So if this happens to you, I can probably save you some time. There are some tools that you're going to need. One is a little stubby piece of 5/16 Allen wrench, no more than 3/8 of an inch long. 1/4 inch would be fine. 5/16 wrench. You're going to need a piece of brass like this, ground to a taper, so you can jam the knee power feed gear on the bottom of the double bevel gear to immobilize that system to release it. And you're going to need, this worked perfectly the first time, but obviously I had to make some modifications. This is a Harbor Freight extended vice grip pliers, but I added a welded hook on the end to catch the slots in the nut. And I tried everything to get on those things. And I tried this the first time and was able to get it loose. $12 at Harbor Freight, way worth it. I also made a wrench to apply torque to the pedestal. I just measured the spread and took a 4-foot bar of steel and welded a couple of 3/8 screws to it. That let me get torque on that. And the other thing I had to make was this clamp wrench to handle the outer screw. And yeah, this may be a bit of over design, but hey, whatever, it worked. And the outer screw is 2 inches in diameter. I made that about 185. 1885, 15 thou small. And it clamped really well. But if this happens to you, I would say there's a good chance that you're jammed in at least 2 and possibly 3 places. And just going ahead and getting started on these tools will avoid a lot of screwing around. This little short stubby Allen wrench you can drop into the hex on the pedestal screws and then attach that to it and work those screws out. Thankfully, they weren't torqued too high. And this thing, honestly, I wish I'd thought of this before. This is just the absolute perfect tool for getting at hard to reach nuts with a wrenching slot. So anyway, that's the story. I'm going to put this thing back together now. Everything seems to be free. If I haven't done any additional damage inside the feed box, which I don't think I have, but never say never. If I get all that stuff back together, I should have this back running again today. So it's been a long process. I appreciate the suggestions that I got online. I just wanted to post this in case somebody else goes through this. There'll be a reference for whatever action you have to take. I'm imagining that some of the other Van Norman knees are about the same as this. Anyway, that's my story. Operation Free the Knee, a success. P.S. The reason I got into this was because I didn't understand that there were supposed to be screws in these holes on the knee control slot. There's one at the top and one at the bottom, and as long as the feed blocks are inside those cap screws, nothing bad can happen, or so I'm told. But I was missing those and just kind of trying to figure out where the stop blocks had to go when I jammed the thing up. So anyway, that's a live and learn lesson. But if your machine doesn't have those little screws in there, chances are there's a hole with nothing in it, and all you got to do is run a 1/2-inch cap screw in. Well, I'm really happy to tell you that my Van Norman 2L is back in service after an unscheduled delay for human dumbassery, which caused me to get the knee jammed in the fully down position. Sure learned a lot about what to do and what not to do as part of that process, but I just thought I'd run it just because I can and show you that in fact all the feeds are working. And I love this. This is going to be great. Anyway, I'm really happy that it's all back together. It seems as though the only actual damage was one of the index pins on the feed gear selector got broken. And from looking at the evidence inside that cover, it's not the first time it's happened. It's happened in other cases too, and I guess that gave me some confidence that the machine was going to survive. Anyway, we're back in business today, and I'm happy to report that.
Well, this video is a little different than my usual ones, and I hope it's been interesting to at least a few of you. I'm probably going to post this on some of the Facebook Van Norman groups. But anyway, for what it's worth, this is what new machine day or week looked like for me. All the best to all of you, and hope to be back with some more gear hobbing related updates in the near future.